our community, our school spirit, our awesome t-shirts. When we have a pep rally, this is the most popular t-shirt in school. You'll look around and you'll see 600 Forks Nation t-shirts. And that's pretty good for a school with only 500 people in it. It's an interesting concept. Shenango Forks being a nation. Most people would dismiss it. They'd say that's ridiculous. But I say, why not? I would say we're even better than some other nations. We have secure borders guarded by Mr. Burdick, our Secretary of Homeland Security. And Mrs. Roscoe, our Border Patrol agent in the attendance office. You don't get anywhere without a pass from her. Our recent solar panel installation project has us making great strides towards energy independence. We recently negotiated a trade deal with a neighboring country. On June 11th, we traded 103 of our seniors for 115 of theirs. That makes us 11% more valuable than Shenango Valley. We have our own unique system of government. The students vote for class representatives, for homecoming court, for student council. But of course, the final decision maker is our benevolent dictator, Mr. Hillis. And of course, I would be remiss not to mention our national pastime of Forks football. I certainly think we are a nation, but to be sure, I looked it up in the dictionary. It read, a nation, a large aggregate of people united by common history, language, and culture, inhabiting a particular territory. It certainly looks to me like we fulfill every characteristic of being a nation. Let's start with the people. We have 1,572 students at Shenango Forks, and that's double the population of the world's smallest nation, the Vatican City. So, check mark in that box. The nation, according to the dictionary, has a common history, a shared history. Well, Forks Nation history stretches all the way back, from the Harshaw to the high school. We started back in kindergarten, where in the morning, during morning program, we would together sing Hats Off to Harshaw. Then we went to the Kenyon, where we made giant cookies in the shape of New York State and took a trip to the coal mines. In the middle school, we ventured out to Dorney Park and then to Washington, D.C. And we were the last class to have Mr. Burke as our principal. In the high school, we together suffered through hours of Regents exams. And together we enjoyed this year's Clue-themed prom and our annual coffee house. Athletically, too, we are united in history. The girls' lacrosse team cemented themselves in Forks Nation history, winning their first Section 4 championship and earning a banner for the gymnasium. Also, the Forks Nation football team, during our tenure here, has won 2 sets of back-to-back state championships. Next up, we have our shared language. We have developed some interesting slang here in Forks Nation. We have clever and unusual nicknames for some of our seniors. We have Heb, Jaherd, Slam, Peeps, E.T., Boobs, Shay Shay, Chops. Not only do we have nicknames for people, but we have creative names for locations within Forks Nation. Our science teachers don't work in the basement, but in the science dungeon. Unlike other schools, we don't have a cafeteria, we have a cafe, and you have to put the accent on the E. This surface we're on right now, it's not the football field nor the soccer field, it's the turf. And there's always the Forks Nation equivalent of America's Got Talent. Our winter talent show, The Grecians Sing, with a name no one can explain. And of course, I cannot fail to mention our school slogan, "Stay cool, Big Blue." The most integral part of Forks Nation is our shared culture. We have a number of odd traditions here. There's the good luck ritual on the way to sports games. Whenever a school bus crosses a set of railroad tracks, everyone has to touch one of the screws in the bus because we have to help hold the bus together.
We did that.
We also have a respect for our elders here at Forks Nation. Just like seniors in the real world, Forks Nation seniors get a set of certain privileges. We're the only ones who can go into the courtyard for lunch, and of course, we get the undying respect and admiration of all of our loving underclassmen. We're also full of school spirit here. Pep rallies at Forks Nation are always rambunctious and exciting. The competition for the coveted spirit stick is always fierce. Our culture also has integrity. If you ever enter the high school during a sports season, you'll see duffel bags, baseball bats, lacrosse sticks, and tennis rackets. All of our sports equipment sits on the shelf on top of our lockers. Nobody watches it, nobody guards it, nobody locks it, and nobody takes it. That's integrity for you. And that's our Forks Nation culture. So we've checked the boxes of nationhood. We have a shared history, a shared language, and a shared culture. But merely checking boxes is not the point of a nation. Merely existing is not the point of a nation. There's no value in existing. I hate to be the one to burst your bubble, guys, class of 2015, but Forks Nation will survive and will thrive without us. Shenango Forks, the Forks Nation, has endured since 1943, and perhaps even earlier in spirit, and will continue to exist long after the class of 2015, 2016, 2017, or 2027. Whether you choose to leave this campus tonight and never, ever, ever set foot in Shenango Forks again, or whether you choose to live over there on Patch Road and raise your family here, you will be a citizen of Forks Nation. Whether you've been here for just your senior year, or whether you went to kindergarten with Miss Tweedy, you will always be a citizen of Forks Nation. We are all citizens now. Issuing the diplomas is merely a formality. We are Forks Nation. I have written a short poem about my feelings towards Forks Nation. Any resemblance to an Irish drinking song is purely coincidental. I've been a Blue Devil for many's the year, and my home in Shenango I shall always hold dear. But now I'm a senior, and must bid thee adieu. But the blood in my veins shall always run blue. Now, class of 2015, I challenge you, go forth and be awesome. No, wait a minute. Go Forks! Be awesome!
And he even said he didn't have deliverance. I know.